stationary bike or just on a daily basis to try to maintain some length in those overused muscles. So to start with, just finding a comfortable seated position, and you can have the legs straight if it bothers your knees or your hips, or you can have something under your hips, a block or a book, a blanket, anything that keeps your hips above your knees if it's more comfortable. And from there, we're just going to do a few rolls of the shoulders, close the eyes, and start to find a ujjayi breath. So a very slight constriction at the back of your throat to smooth and lengthen the breath out. Breathing in and out through the nose. So start to use your exhales to let go of any tension you're finding. Do a scan of the body, relax the face, the neck, the shoulders. And every exhale, just letting go of a little bit more, whatever you're finding that is not serving you to be held in your body. Let that go as you exhale. On your next inhale, lengthen up through the spine. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest, and if you want, very gentle pressure with your hands, if you have no neck injuries, until you feel a light stretch in the neck. And again, use those exhales to let go of the tension. I know especially after a long bike, tend to have quite a bit of tension in my neck and shoulders. Just slowly follow your chin along the collarbone up to the right shoulder. Relax the right ear to the right shoulder. Bringing your right hand just above the left ear. If you want to get a little extra stretch, you can stretch your left hand away from the ear. And then some long exhales to let go of any tension you're finding between the ear and the shoulder. Slowly bring that chin back to the collarbone, down to the center, and up over to the other side. Again, just finding a spot where there's a slight amount of tension and using those exhales to let it release. Head back to center. A few more deep breaths with a long spine. Feel the ribs expanding to the front, sides, and back as you breathe in. And exhales, let go of tension. Try to keep that breath moving. We're just going to slowly make your way forward into hands and knees, tabletop position. So the hands right below the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. And as you inhale, we're going to let the tailbone come up, the chest open, and your gaze up slightly. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, belly towards the spine, chin towards the chest. At the time of your own breath, inhales to draw the chest down and forward, opening the front side of the body, and then exhales, arching the back up, opening up the back side of the body. inhale can find a neutral position of the spine. As you exhale, tuck the toes, press into the hands, and find your way into downward facing dog. So keep a good bend in the knees at first. Really draw the sit bones back and away from the hands. Think of the shoulders coming down away from the ears, the biceps firming up towards each other. And then just a gaze, soft gaze towards your back legs. You can start to bring one heel down at a time as you start to lengthen out the hamstrings, the calves. This is a great pose to do every day. Try to keep those hamstrings and calves lengthened. And I'll take about 5 deep breaths here. So draw the belly towards the spine, press into the hands as you reach the sit bones back, and then think of the inner thighs rotating back towards the back wall as you hold here. From here, we'll just slowly start to walk the feet forward, little steps, until they come to the top of the mat. And then just letting the upper body hang down into forward bend, Uttanasana. You can grab onto opposite elbows if you want. Just take a few long deep breaths, really relaxing the head and the shoulders, letting them hang. Maybe starting to press into the feet and lengthening the sit bones up to lengthen the back of the legs. As you inhale, you can start to come up halfway, lengthening the spine. So keep a good bend in the legs if you need to do that. You can keep your hands on the front of the shins if that feels like a good spot to have that long spine. And exhale, forward bend. Relax the head. Inhale, press into the feet, reach the arms up overhead into Urdhva Hastasana. So we're pressing down through the 4 corners of the feet, the big toe mound, the pinky mound, either side of the heel, reaching the arms up, stretching through each finger, but relaxing the shoulders down and back. The tailbone is lengthened, the belly is drawn towards the spine. As you exhale, we're going to dive down, leading with the heart, forward bend. Inhale up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the right foot back, a big step into a low lunge. Relax the top of the foot. Inhale. Arms out, feel a nice opening in the right thigh. Exhale, plant the hands, step the foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank, long straight line with the body. As you exhale, we're going to slowly lower down all the way to the mat. Press into the tops of the feet. Inhale to a baby cobra, so roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Exhale back down, push back through tabletop to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg straight up and back. Exhale, step that foot through, or you can use the arm to help bring it up. Relax the knee. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, bring the foot forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, the opposite foot steps back. Relax the knee and top of the foot. Inhale into that low lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale, finding that baby cobra. Draw the belly to the spine, exhale back. Inhale, left leg up and back. And exhale, step that foot forward between the hands, relax the back foot. Inhale up. And exhale. exhale, stepping the foot forward, forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up halfway and lengthen. Exhale, right leg back. Relax the top of the foot. Inhale, feel the chest opening forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. And we're gonna hold here for a minute, try starting to build some fire. And I don't want anybody to feel gypped, so I'm gonna set the timer here for 1 minute. Find that long, deep breath again. Check the fingers are spread wide apart and you're pressing down through the entire hand. The shoulders are coming away from the ears, so you're really using the big muscles in the back to hold rather than the little muscles in the neck and the top of the shoulders. The inner thighs are spiraling up towards the ceiling, and then we're pressing equally, lengthening through the top of the head and the backs of the feet. Belly is drawn tight towards the spine, and long deep breaths. 15 seconds to go here. Always modification to bring the knees down at any point that you need to. Sorry, I should have mentioned that a little bit sooner, maybe. 5 seconds to go. As you inhale, and exhale, we're gonna slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, find your baby cobra. And exhale, push back. Tabletop, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, step the foot forward, relax the back foot. Inhale, open up. And exhale, plant the hands and step into forward bend. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale, arms up. Press down through the feet. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, find that half lift, long spine. Exhale, left foot back, low lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. As you exhale, drop the knees and lower down partway, chaturanga. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come down partway. Inhale, push up. Exhale, down halfway. Inhale up. Exhale, down. And then one more time. Inhale up, belly tight to the spine. Exhale all the way down. Inhale up, baby cobra. Exhale, pushing through tabletop to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, bring the foot forward, drop the back knee. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, bringing the foot forward, forward bend. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Then bringing the big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. As you inhale, reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, we're going to bring your right hand to the left wrist and start opening to the side. Now don't necessarily do as I'm doing because I'm not mirror imaging everything. I tried it first, but it was getting too confusing, so try to just listen rather than follow visually. So deep breath in as you press down through the feet, reach up through that arm, and then as you exhale, opening up that side body, the left side body. Inhales, feel the ribs expand. Exhales, maybe letting go of some tension. You can look straight ahead, or you can look up towards that top arm if that feels okay on the neck. Inhale, coming back up, lengthen. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale over to the other side. Think of keeping both hips and both shoulders in one line, so you're not letting the right shoulder come forward, but we're keeping it in alignment. Very slight bend in your knees, so you're not locking the knees out. And inhales are expanding the right ribs. Exhales, letting go of any tension you're finding there. Inhale, coming back up to center. Bring the feet back to hip width. And exhale, forward bend. Inhale to come up halfway. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, as you lower this time, you can come down all the way like we were, or just part way, chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog or the baby cobra like we were doing before. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 5 deep breaths here. Now that we're warmed up a little bit, starting to work into the back of the leg a little bit more, you can really think of stretching the sit bones up and back. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step the feet to the hands or hop if that's in your practice. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. I'm going to bring the hands to the hips. Again, don't do the leg I do, but the one I'm saying. So we'll start by putting all the weight into your left foot. You're going to reach your right knee up. As you press down through your left foot, lengthen up as if you have a string pulling the top of the head. And inhale to draw the belly to the spine. Exhale to reach through the heel. Inhale to bend and lengthen. Exhale to straighten. Inhale, lengthen, core's tight. Exhale, reach. The quads are getting tight and firing, creating some fire. Exhale. Sorry, inhale. And one more exhale to straighten that leg. Inhale, bend the knee. And then as you exhale, just slowly start to bring the right leg back, a big step into crescent lunge. So the feet are still about hip width apart. Front knee is aligned over the front ankle. And then think about a slight pelvic tilt to lengthen the spine. As you hold that, reach back with the right hamstring. So you should feel a nice stretch and opening through the hip flexors and the right quads that go over the hip joint there. As you inhale, you can lift the arms up. 5 big breaths here. If you want a little bit more of an opening, you can take the right wrist with the left hand and then reach that arm up and out of the hip. If you've come over to the side, back to center, we're going to bring each hand beside you and start leaning forward to about a 45-degree angle. Really draw the shoulder blades down, squeeze between the lower shoulder blades. Reach the hands back towards your foot. And slowly start to drag your back foot forward as you press into the standing leg, the left leg, and coming into a warrior 3 variation. Both hips pointing down, so try not to let the right hip come up. And then get as long as you can. Top of the head, reaching forward, that foot stretching back. From here, we're going to go into half moon pose. So if you have a block or a book, if you have tight hamstrings, you might want that to come to, holding onto your block. Otherwise, you can bring the hand all the way down. Start to reach up with the right arm and the right foot stretching straight back. Think of your right hip opening up towards the ceiling, and long deep breath here. Shoulders drawing away from the ears, and as you start to feel those right ribs open up towards the ceiling. All those little stabilizing muscles in the left leg are really working here. It's really going to help your balance no matter what activity you're doing. So keeping the core tight, we're just going to slowly start to step. A big step back with the right foot. From here, you want the front left heel to come back to about the middle of your back foot. Press to the outer edge of your right foot. Left knee is over the left ankle. And from here, we're going to bring your left forearm on the left thigh. Kind of press out so that the knee is aligned right over the center of the foot. Feel a nice opening in the left thigh. And then start to roll the right shoulder up towards the ceiling. You can bring the right arm straight up, or you can reach it up and over if that feels okay. But still pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. Long deep breaths here. Use that Ujjayi breath. Keep it flowing. Your next inhale, just reach the right arm back, left arm forward, but keep the thigh so that the left knee is still right over the left foot. Find equal weight in your left foot and your right foot. Soft gaze over your left middle finger. And one more deep breath here. As you inhale, we'll straighten the left leg. Exhale, cartwheel the hands either side of that front foot, pivot the back foot, and step back to plank. Inhale, find that long straight line in the body. Exhale, lower part way or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, we're just going to come down to a child's pose. So knees wide, relax the forehead. Either one fist stacked on top of the other, one fist, or all the way down if that feels good. And then use your inhales to feel your ribs expanding. Exhales, feel all the muscles, especially in the lower back, softening, the front of the hips relaxing. Start to reach the arms forward. On your next inhale, find tabletop position. As you exhale, downward facing dog. On your next exhale, bend your knees, bring the gaze forward, step or hop the feet back to the hands. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. So this time, bring it all the way into your right foot. Starting to press down, grow some roots from the foot into the ground. Shoulders down, away from the ears. And then inhale to lift the leg, tighten the core. Exhale to reach through that foot. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Get tall and strong. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, quads are really strong. Inhale to bend. And exhale, again, a big step back into crescent lunge. So find your long spine. And then from there, start to really reach back with the left thigh. Adding the arms when you're ready. And about 5 big breaths here. If you're feeling enough stretch, you can stay there. Otherwise, bringing the right hand to the left wrist and lifting up and out of the hip. And think of maintaining, if you can, close to a 90-degree bend with that front knee, or just making sure that the knee doesn't go over the ankle. And then coming back to center, starting to reach the arms back, thumbs coming out, so you can open up the chest, bring that weight into the front foot, 45-degree angle. And then as you're ready, slowly coming into your warrior 3 on this side. Long deep breath through the nose with that ujjayi breath. If you have your block or a book or whenever you need it for half moon last time, or you may not need it on this side. For me, I've got a hamstring injury right now, so it gets pretty interesting on this side. But again, just try to open up that left hip, up towards the ceiling, the left rib starting to rotate up, shoulders away from the ears, and just finding that breath. You can look straight down. If you want more of a challenge, you can start to look to the side or up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to slowly take a big step back. Again, find the front foot about in the middle of the arch of the back foot. Press into the outer edge of that back foot. And then finding side angle on this side. So starting to feel the chest open, the left ribs expand up towards the ceiling. Gaze towards that top hand. If it feels okay, otherwise straight to the side or even down is fine. Check your front knee is aligned over the center of your ankle. And you want to try to create a straight line with the body, so bringing the body straight from the shoulder all the way down to the back edge of that foot. And you inhale, coming back up into warrior 2 on this side. 5 more big breaths here. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Get the arms really active so the biceps and the triceps are fired up. Think of your shoulders aligning straight over the hips. Soft gaze again over that right middle finger. As you inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, cartwheel the hands either side of the front foot. Step back to plank. Inhale, long straight line with the body. Exhale to lower part way or all the way. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So staying in downward facing dog or coming back to child's pose for 5 big breaths. And if the breath has become shortened, try to lengthen the breath again. Draw it out. Exhales to release any tension that you're finding. This is a great practice to do when you're biking if you've just done a long climb, or maybe you just did something that has invoked from some fear in you. Just finding the breath again. I often have to remind myself anytime I'm descending, find the breath, lengthen the breath. So it's a great practice. Start to reach the hands forward, bring yourself back up into hands and knees on the inhale. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, we're gonna make our way back to plank. We're gonna bring the right hand in the center and then rotate onto the outside edge of the right foot. So the first option is to bring your right knee down, left arm straight up. Second option is to stay on both feet with the arms up. Third option is to lift the hips, left arm up and over, and start to open up that side body. And maybe another option is to lift the leg up for 5 big breaths here. Keep the belly drawn towards the spine, pelvic floor lifted. And as you exhale, slowly come back to center. We're gonna make our way to the other side. So left hand in the center, fingers spread wide, rotating over, bringing the leg down if that was your option. Try to draw the shoulder down away from the ears, and then lifting up. If you want, lifting the leg, lifting up and over, finding the breath. Find our way back to plank, and make your way back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift the right leg straight up and back. Exhale, step that foot forward. Just gonna relax the left knee down, the top of the foot, and come into a held low lunge. I find I have to hold this for at least a minute, if not longer, to try to get some real opening in the hip flexors. We're sitting so much, we're in that position cycling. There's so much tension there that it often takes a long time. So if you have your blocks, you can use those to rest your hands on. Feel free to just let the head go. You can relax the neck. It might be tight from a lot of cycling as well, so that can be another spot of release. And then really focus on your exhales, releasing tension. Because we can hold this for a really long time, but if we're not focusing on the breath, then there's not going to be a lot of release in the tension there. If you're feeling not there, feel free to stay. Otherwise, you can press into the left hand and start to rotate the torso, bending the left knee, either grabbing the foot with your hand or a strap or a sweatshirt, whatever you have. Take a few breaths there. You can start to get into the quads a little deeper, especially the ones that are crossing over the hip. And if you have the foot up, just slowly letting it down, coming back. And then we're gonna start to bring the weight into the back knee. You might have to put a blanket or something underneath if that bothers you. And then stretching the right hamstring out here. So you wanna think of keeping the spine straight. And if you need to keep a little bend in the knee to do that, that's perfect. Inhales, think of lengthening up and out of the spine, opening the chest. Exhale, just really focus on releasing wherever that tension is. Allow it to soften. You can slowly bring your weight forward again, hands either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toes, step back, downward facing dog. And as you inhale, lift the left leg straight up and back. Exhale, step that foot through. And relax the back knee down. And starting with opening up the right hip flexor. Relax the neck if that feels comfortable. If you need a block, really listen to your body. Do whatever you need to do to make it feel good and that it's opening, but it's not too much opening, so that you're actually able to allow those muscles to release and lengthen. you want to add a little bit of rotation, and then getting that back foot again. But again, especially if you have just done a hard bike or a long bike, really take it careful on this one, because the hip flexors and the quads can be a little bit sensitive at that point. And then just let that go. Start to transfer the weight into your back knee. Straighten the front leg. Think of keeping your hip over your knee. Inhale, still lengthen the spine. Exhales, relaxing forward. If it's there, otherwise just going to what feels good for your body. You might be able to move deeper with each breath. And then slowly bringing the weight forward again. Tuck the back toes, step back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, we're going to lift the right leg straight up and back. As you exhale, bring the right knee to the outside of the right elbow. Keep the core tight. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, right knee to the outside of the left elbow. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, draw the right knee into the chest, nose to the knee. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, this time bring your right knee forward behind the right wrist. And we're going to slide your left leg back for pigeon pose. So a great pose to get those external rotators. I'll show a variation if you have any knee issues after this. Otherwise, if we want to keep the hips even, so if your right hip is up, then feel free to put a blanket or a folded sweatshirt or something under there to keep the hips even. If it's down, you might be able to start to draw the shin forward a little bit, and then bring the hips back. Check that your back leg is going straight behind your hip. Then we're going to come forward with the chest, roll the shoulders back, and then think of keeping a long spine as you start to come forward to wherever you start to feel that stretch for you. Maybe it's just to your forearms. Maybe you want to be able to stack one fist on top of the other. Or maybe you can come all the way forward onto your forehead. Wherever you're at, think of finding a spot in the very center of the forehead that you can put pressure on. That stimulates your parasympathetic system, helps the body to relax. Now, if you have any knee issues, you can bring the left leg forward, right knee crossed over top, a good flex of the foot to protect the knee, and then just bending your left leg. You might be able to just do it a little bit. So wherever that is for you, that you're not getting any knee pain, maybe you can bring the foot forward or walk the hands up, depending on where you're at. And then just keeping that long, deep breath. Again, this is one of those poses that sometimes I like to hold up for 2 to 3 minutes to actually get some real release, because they're just so tight after daily sitting, daily use. And then your next inhale, we'll all make our way back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, we're going to lift the left leg straight up and back. Exhale the left knee to the outside of the left arm, maybe towards the armpit. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left knee to the right elbow, hunch the back up to help hold that. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. Exhale, knee forward, belly tight to the spine, knee to the nose. Inhale, left leg straight up and back. And a step, left knee behind the left wrist, or just going into seated if that was the variation that works for you. Find the hips even. Check that your back foot is straight behind your hip. And then inhale to find length. Exhale to start to bring yourself forward. Do at least 10 long deep breaths here. Slowly coming back up onto the hands. You can lean all the way into the left hip. Lift that right foot up and over. So if that's too much, we want to have both sit bones on the ground. So if you need to lengthen your left leg, feel free to do that. So we have the right foot on the ground. And inhale to find length in the spine, right arm behind. And then exhale to bring either your left elbow or forearm around that right knee. Every inhale, think of pressing down through the sit bones, lengthening through the spine. Exhale to rotate. And never forcing anything, but just allowing that opening to happen. Your next inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, a counter rotation. Back to center, and then just switching sides. So again, you can keep the right leg straight or bend it. Just make sure both sit bones are on the ground. Inhale to find length. Exhale to rotate. Feel free to close the eyes. Inhales, imagine that string drawing the top of the head up. Exhales, feel the left ribs rotating back. Right ribs forward. Another inhale to make your way back to center. One more fun core strength pose here. So we're going to do boat pose or Navasana for 1 minute. So starting with just a lean back, hands behind your thighs, belly drawn towards your spine. Or if you want to make it a little more challenging, you can lift the feet up. A little more challenging, you can bring the shins parallel with the floor. Or if you want to, I should start this. A little more challenging, you can straighten the legs. So wherever you're at, try to keep that smooth breath. Of course, the shaking might impede that a little bit here, but nevertheless, if you want, I find to distract myself, I like to do straightening one leg at a time. Just think of keeping the pelvic floor lifted and the belly drawn towards the spine. I'm halfway there. Think of the shoulders drawing down away from the ears, and we're not allowing the back to curve, but we're lifting the chest. Hopefully you guys are too far away to see how much I'm shaking. 5 seconds to go. Awesome, okay. And then bring the feet down, grabbing onto either side of the ankle as low as you can. From there, draw the back away, opening the upper back, forehead towards the knees. And then deep breaths into the upper back. So from here we're going to have a little fun. So you're hanging onto your hamstrings, your shins, or maybe grabbing onto your big toes, leaning back and lifting up the legs. These poses kind of remind me of cycling. I mean, they make you feel like a kid again. That's why I love them. Have some fun with it. Again, lift the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Wherever you're hanging onto the legs is fine. Maybe playing with where you want to hang onto the legs a bit. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, bring the feet down for Baddha Konasana. So you can kind of have the feet like the pages of a book, and then just draw that spot, find that spot where you're feeling that opening in the adductors and the inner thighs. Maybe bringing the hands behind you if you need to keep the spine straight. Some might be able to fold right forward with that straight spine, and that's right wherever you're at. Just again, use the inhales to lengthen the spine, and then exhales to release the tension you're finding. If it feels okay, you might be able to do some gentle pressure with the arms to help open up the thighs. And then we're just going to bring the feet forward into more of a butterfly pose. This time allow the spine to curve, relax the chin towards the chest, and take some deep breaths into the upper back. Breathing into the back of the neck. From here, just slowly making it back to a straight spine. And just roll this way, but we're gonna, with the knees bent, just slowly roll your way down onto the spine. Walk your heels towards your bum so you can just touch the back of your heels. We're gonna come into a bridge pose, so starting to lift the hips up. If you have a block and you want to put it between your thighs, that's a great way to fire up those adductors, get the inner thighs working. If it feels okay for the shoulders, interlacing the hands under the back, and then starting to walk the upper arms under the shoulders, really pressing into the inside edge of your feet as you lengthen the spine forward towards your knees. A few deep breaths here. This one's so great because you're opening the chest, which tends to get hunched when you're cycling, and you're using those leg muscles, the glutes, which sometimes can get a little bit lazy. And coming up on the toes, bring your arms out, and slowly bring your spine down one vertebrae at a time. Bring the legs in, give yourself a big hug, rock side to side a few times. And then just doing a gentle twist. So if you want, you can straighten your left leg, bring your right leg up and over, maybe bringing the hips over to the right side of your mat, and then rolling over to the left. Right arm straight out to the side, gazing towards the right arm. A few deep breaths here, just letting both shoulders relax into the mat. As you inhale, make your way back to center. And straighten the right leg. Maybe adjust the hips to the left if you feel like you could use more rotation. Right hand to the left thigh, and gazing towards your left arm. Back to center into a final Shavasana. So your feet mat width apart or even wider. You may want to lift the spine and lengthen it. Let it settle down. Lift the shoulders, draw them down your back. And then just relax the arms away from the sides. If you can make the room dark, it's even better, or if you have something to put on your eyes to help again stimulate that parasympathetic system. Starting with a few deep breaths. Eventually just allowing your breath to be normal. There's no control of it. Letting the whole body feel heavy, sinking into your mat. Just give yourself a few minutes to let everything that you've done sink into the body. Allow your face to be completely relaxed. Again, scan the body. Let go of any tension that you find. And feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you can, ideally getting all the benefits. Thank you guys for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your day. The divine in me honors and recognizes the divine in you. Namaste.